Hi, this is Shade Foray with TaxSaleSupport.com. I'm here with Steven Swenson again. This is another one of our Property Deal of the Week videos for August of 2021.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about Washington and the sale that's taking place there. Now, as far as Washington, they're a tax deed foreclosure state. So each year after the property has been delinquent for usually between 3 to 4 years, the county will go ahead and foreclose on that property and offer it up at a tax deed auction.
Yeah, that's basically what tax deed states do. The counties have the power to foreclose on properties once a redemption period has expired. So they foreclose on them and offer them up for sale at auction. Bidding's going to start at what's owed in taxes and fees. So in Washington, we actually have live auctions and online auctions. We have both, and they actually can have over-the-counter inventory as well.
Yeah, so if they do have property that don't sell at the auction, then they can offer it over the counter. Now, before we get started, we noticed that around 15% of you guys have actually subscribed to the channel. So it's free to join, and go ahead and hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, that way you'll be notified anytime we produce new videos. So we're going to be looking at King County, whose online auction is happening through Bid for Assets on September 15th to the 16th.
Yeah, exactly. This is an online tax deed auction. Now, this first property starts at $97,000, and we can see that it has a value of around, $5,500 around $5,500.
Yeah, and they also list the address as kind of, as raw land, in Duval here.
Yeah, one thing that's also nice about this auction is you can see down there at the bottom on the left-hand side underneath additional information.
Yeah, right here.
Yep, there's a title report there. And this helps us so much as investors. One of the number one things we're trying to find out when we invest into tax deeds is there any type of, liens that could survive the foreclosure? Something like a government lien or a city lien or something.
Yeah, Washington counties are better about title reports than most.
Yeah, well, I think it's part of their law and process that they go through.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the property itself. We can see that it's got a marker on it here under the land data. We can see, but it's kind of a further out shot. We have another image here of it overhead.
Yeah, it's around 76 acres. So we're talking about a pretty big piece of land. And one thing that I noticed, if you looked up there in the legal description, it says subject of deed and agreement relating to development rights recorded under, and then it gives a number. And when I was looking a little more into the property, I could see that somehow the county government still holds the development rights on that. Now, I don't know what that means. That's something we'd have to track down, but I thought it was interesting, and we could go ahead and look up that number within the records to see exactly what the situation is.
Yeah, it's currently zoned as single family residential right now, but 3.3 million square feet.
Yeah, it's huge. You're talking about a pretty big piece of property there. Now, it is kind of landlocked, and usually we would, discourage buying this type of property, but it does have interest, even as just farmland, and the property value shows that high value for a reason.
Yeah, so here we're looking at the taxable history and also a sales history on the property.
Yeah, well, we can see it sold back in 2007, for $225,000. So even, 10, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, it still had value. And then 2004, it sold for $195,000.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so basically this property, which is 76 acres of land, has an assessed value of about $556, starts at about $97,000. It'd be interesting. It's one of those properties that you could look into. It has potential.
Yeah, we'd do a lot more research into this property, seeing is it accessible, what are the uses, what are the development rights. But you're still looking at a property that is starting around, 20, 25 cents on the dollar, but has a huge potential for profit.
Yeah. And so here we have property number 2, which has an opening bid of about $23,000 and has improvement and land value. We can see there for a total assessed of $281,000.
Yeah, so we see that this is, just by looking at it, we have the address there. We can also look at the title report that's very helpful on, a property like this. And what this is just a single-family home. You can see a photo of it there. It says that it was built in 1952, 4-bedroom, 1-bath, and it's about 1,400 square feet.
Yeah. And here we just see basically the assessed value here on it, how it breaks down.
Yeah, it's also on a good size lot, 0.81 of an acre. So it's got a good size lot to it. It's got its value. It's got historical value.
Yeah, 35,000 square feet.
It's got water and all of those things, ready to go.
Here we can see an overhead image of how the land is laid out. It's a nice square usable lot too that's been cleared and is obviously set up nicely here for a home.
Yeah, definitely. One thing that was interesting is when you look this property up on Zillow, it did have images from when it was sold last. But we can see that they're giving this property value, this estimate value of $464,000.
Yeah, which is quite a bit over, what the assessed value of $280,000 is on it, which changes the numbers pretty dramatically if that value holds solid.
Yeah, well, even if you were to take $100,000 off that value, let's say we figured out it was worth $350,000, in the current condition, that's still a huge potential profit, especially when we're starting at an opening bid of I can't remember exact numbers.
$23,000.
Yeah, about $23,000.
Yeah, so it is starting out at about 5% of its bid to value ratio, essentially. Yeah, so here we can kind of see the numbers on opening bid of $23,000. With market here it said $460,000. Assessed of $281,000. So it's definitely going to have the potential to be a profitable transaction.
Well, and it's got a good sized piece of land with it as well, which is helpful.
Yeah, here is the next property we're looking at, which has an opening bid of $34,000, but a total assessed value of about $618,000, with that being pretty evenly split between the improvements in the land.
Yeah, that's what was kind of interesting about this property. Is you look at that land value of $349,000, and that's really because as we look into it, it's around 10 acres. But we've got the address there. And one thing I noticed down there in the building is we can see when it was actually a mobile home or a prefab was put on the property. We can see that it's more of kind of a manufactured home, and it was built in 2000, about 1,500 square foot. So it's a pretty good size prefab home.
Yeah, and sitting on 9 acres of property, or 396,000 square feet. Yeah, that does look pretty nice here. Let's take a look at it from overhead. Yeah. Oh, and here we can see. So this is we can see how this property is laid out. It is a nice stretch of property, and they have the access road there, so they're not needing to go through some kind of an easement, in order to access the property.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and you can see that there's some other types of buildings on the property. You've got a lot of acreage there, and that's one thing that I really like about this property is that there's so much value in the land there. It is possible that you could go in there, create a road, and subdivide it. And make 3 or 4 lots out of it.
Yeah, it's a nice piece of property. Here we can see an estimated value on it of about $650,000.
Yeah.
So again, it's another property that is starting off, opening bids closer to 5%, on it, which is really what that means. It doesn't mean that somebody can't bid the property up to a high amount, but it means that it's starting out at a very low amount, and that there's a lot of potential profit there.
Well, and what I love about this potential type of profit is that so much of it is the land that you're not going to worry about. When we're looking at some homes, maybe the lot's worth $20,000 or $30,000, and the home is worth $150,000, and that's a majority of the property value is within the actual structure. But here, the land is actually more valuable than the homes.
Yeah, properties like that are really attractive. Large chunks of land are always attractive, especially though when there's a usable home on them.
Definitely.
Yeah. So again, these are some properties that are being offered in the King County, Washington sale on September 15th through the 16th on Bid for Assets.
Yeah. Now, if you want to participate in this sale, you need to put in a $2,500 deposit by September 9th. If they don't get the deposit by then, you're not going to be participating in the sale.
Yeah. If you like this information and you'd like more like this, also tax sale lists every month training, you should join our membership program on taxsalesupport.com. It's only $39 a month. You can also get a year up front and pay only $29 a month.
Yeah, it really is. We believe the best value in education is going to give you access to all of our list, our training, our weekly webinars. So if you're interested, check it out and see what's included.
Yeah. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to hit that like button.
Appreciate it.